What's up, guys? It's your boy Kazaris back with my two big tournament winning Cyber Dragon Spright deck profile. I won a PS5 last weekend, and I won a 3v3 Megaton case tournament yesterday on Saturday. I did not get carried. I went undefeated, and my friend also went undefeated, so technically we didn't even need a third person. But the deck did really well. It still does really well, but I might have to change a few things when the Bestials come out because it might change the way the deck plays, but I'll get into that later. So for now, let's just get right into the deck profile. So first up, we have the Cyber Dragon cards. There are 12 of them, 3 Cyber Dragon Core, 1 Cyber Dragon Hertz, 2 Galaxy Soldier Honorary Cyber Dragon card, 3 Cyber Emergency to add either Core or Hertz, 1 Rev System, 1 Repair Plant, and 1 Cybernetic Overflow. So you play these 4 cards, the Galaxy Soldier and the Hertz and the Repair Plant, because if you open Emergency or Core with any of these 4, it can't be Emergency or any Repair Plant, those don't work. So one of these 6 with one of these 4, or like Core with one of these 7 here, or Emergency with one of these 6, you make Infinity and full Spright combo. If you only open Core, then you can add Rev System to make Core a 1-card Gigantic. You link for Almirage, Rev System back Core, make Alf, bring back Core, make Gigantic. Or if you have Core and any Spright without a way to Infinity, you just add the Overflow instead to make Core a non-targeting pop. So the engine's really consistent. The Infinity cards can brick a little bit. If you don't see these, then these are kind of dead-ish. Like you can still use Overflow with Hertz, I guess. So that was like a little lackluster, but I'm conflicted because Infinity made my board so much better, but it made my bad hands worse. So might be a little win more, but it didn't. I was losing the games where I bricked anyway, probably. So it didn't matter that much. But overall, I think I like them. I'll get into some potential changes at the end of the video. So that's the Cyber Dragon cards. For the Spright cards, pretty clear cut. 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot. I still love carrot, especially with decks playing like more mid-range now, and just like a bunch of like power cards and shit. Having carrot just to stop those, and especially post-side, having carrot to stop like evenly match and lightning storm and stuff, and very good. 3 starter, 1 smashers. Not much to explain there. Combos well with Core. I have the 1 Iperia. Even with the prosperity conflicting, it's still just really good overall. I like one game I had to go prosperity. I had Judgment called by 2 hand traps and Prosperity didn't hit Core, Starter, or Emergency, so I had to add exactly Iperia and just hope I got to the next turn. I Judgment. It was a Spright mirror, so I Judgment his normal summon, and he just passed. I just put him on better have Starter, because like I can't wait. My hand's too weak. And I got back to my turn, and then I was able to summon this, draw a card, and then special summon a Spright, and then just go from there. If I see Starter without Prosperity, Starter can just go blue jet, get smashers, make Gigantic, summon this, draw a card, and if I draw like Core, like I have 6 cores to draw, then I can normal summon it, add, and go from there. Or this just draws hand traps on my opponent's turn by summoning it back with Elf. Prosperity, just to add 3 more of Core or an Infinity piece or just anything that you really need. It was very good. And then Call by the Grave. And then the hand traps, I had 3 Valor, 3 Crow, 2 Ash, 3 Imperm. These are all very good all day. I sided Ash out sometimes because it's like the worst one. I sided Crow out against Spright because it's not the best. It did some work though. It hit like a Swap Frog so that I couldn't bring it back. That was really strong. And like this can hit Starter. I take this out against Tyr typically. Like it can hit Sheeran and Rhinoheart, but it's just not the best. I'd rather just have like Nibiru against Tyr. Maybe not anymore, not with Rolkaros or whatever. But that was the deck, 40 cards even. And onto the extra, we have the 1 Almirage, Dark Masquerena. I use both of them. IP is sometimes part of your end boards. If it's just like you open a ton of Spright cards, you can make like Elf, Djinn Buster, IP, and then Elf bring back like Iperia to draw or Carrot on the following turn, and then IP can link with your opponent's monster. To Underworld Goddess, I went to this quite a few times. Very strong, especially the effect to negate a card that special summons, like it can negate Rhino in the graveyard. Can negate, what else? Like any Phantom Knight card can negate Elf to special summon from the graveyard. Very cool. Triple Elf, speaking of 1 Gigantic. I like 3 Elf more than I like 2/2. I didn't have the room for the second Gigantic. And like if you resolve one gigantic, you only need elf, because elf is how you're going to be grinding. It's just going to be bringing back everything that you already got access to for the rest of the game. And you sometimes banish one elf off of prosperity, so you definitely want 3. Djinn Buster, part of your end board a lot. Very good card. Just 2 level 2 darks, monster negate. Centauria, Downard, Zeus. I banished Downard a lot off of prosperity, but still having access to Centauria and to Zeus is very strong. I made Zeus quite a bit. Made it against tier once, even though in theory it's not that great, but it actually worked out pretty well. And then 1 Nova, 1 Infinity, 1 Chimera Tech. More so than Infinity, this card is the reason why Core is a crazy normal summon. Because it turns Core into like Pankratops basically. Because I summon Core, if they don't respond, I add a Reborn, I contact with their extra deck monster, and I attack over something else with this. And it just forces so much just by on its own. Or against like a Spright board, they have Elf, Toad, Smashers. I set Core, they're not going to respond to a set monster. Like I play it up like, oh, my hand sucks. So I set a monster, they think, oh, he's passing. I contact with my set Core and their Elf. I attack over Toad. If it forces Smashers, cool. Main phase 2, I go banish Core from graveyard to special summon from deck. They have to either Toad there, and then like I can have starter or prosperity into starter. Or if they let it resolve, then I just get another level 2 on board, like Core summon Core. It can summon itself, and then I just summon Blue, summon Jet, etc. It's really cool. Really cool stuff. And I side 1 Cyber Dragon just to do that same thing more consistently and force stuff more often. Side deck was 1 Pank. I saw it once, it was good when I saw it. Cyber Dragon, I saw this. It's searchable, you can search it off the Cyber Emergency. So it's like similar to Pank. I special, I make Chimera Tech, I attack her for something. Instead of Pank specialing, attacking, and popping, Chimera Tech just outs. Making Chimera Tech is like the pop, kind of. So 3 Nibiru was okay. I saw it once, used it once. I really didn't see a lot of my side deck. 1 Change of Heart. I lost the game that I saw it, but it was good in theory. I just had 4 hand traps, Change of Heart, and Jet. I took his Predaplant, made summon Jet, attacked him for 4,000, and then made Elf, and then he crowed my Jet, and I was like, well, not much I can do there. 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm. Maybe this could just be 3 Lightning Storm, but like sometimes against back row decks that have Judgment, like having 1 of each could come up maybe. But I guess if they're negating you, then you can just do another Lightning Storm anyway. I don't know. It was fine. 3 Evenly, very good all day, and then 3 Judgment. That was the best card. This was the best card on my side deck, 100%. Just going first and making your board and setting Judgment is just so crazy. It's just so good. I didn't get Dark Rollered at all, but in theory, like you can just like if you have like Infinity, Djinn Buster, Carrot, Judgment, Smashers, they Dark Roller, you're just Judgment it, and then they still have to contend with the rest of your board for like they have 5 cards, your 4 interruptions. It's just, and then your infinite follow up because Elf will just summon back like Blue or something. Pretty crazy. So that was a deck, performed extremely well all day. And now I'm going to talk about some of the new stuff. So I managed to get some Bestial cards. These are very cool. And they're very good. These cards specifically are absolutely crazy. These are good on their own because they're Crow with a body. They're a little more niche than Crow because it's only light or dark monsters. But you can do it with your own, like Jet, Blue, Core, stuff like that. And these cards are absolutely crazy. This card is Chaos Space. Every time a light or dark monster is banished, or once per turn, you can target one of those monsters, put it on the bottom of the deck and draw a card. And then if your opponent's normal or special summons a monster, you can target a Bestial in the graveyard and special summon it. This card is absolutely crazy. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it said once per chain at the end. I thought it was not once per turn. No, it is. Okay, and then Branded Beast. You can, during the main phase, if you control a Bestial monster, tribute a dragon, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. And during the end phase, you can target 1 branded continuous spell trap in graveyard, place it face up on the field. So with Lubellion, Lubellion can discard itself to add, or it can send itself from hand to grave to add any Bestial monster from deck to hand. I don't have it here. You have the 3 Magnamut and the 1 Druis Worm. There's also Bestial Saranir. It's another super rare. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can send a branded continuous spell trap from deck to graveyard. So you go discard Lubellion to add Saranir. If you banish any other light or dark to summon Saranir, Lubellion summons itself by tributing one level 6 or higher dragon, which sends Saranir to grave, which dumps this. Lubellion can place this face up from deck, end phase, this will just reset this. So Lubellion in any way to banish a light or dark monster, any other light or dark to keep him in the grave, lets you set up both of these. And then these just let you have spot removal and just like ways to gain advantage. It's just really strong. Magnum Boot on summon. So this card. So they can banish a light or dark monster from either graveyard, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. So they're 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense bodies. Rebellion is 2,500 attack, 3,000 defense, just like this, the fusion monster. And they summon themselves by banishing it, and then when this is summoned in the end phase, you add any dragon from deck to hand. So what I was thinking with this is that we can play a level 2 dark dragon called Triggering Worm. I was looking at all the level 2 dark dragons. This is probably the best one. Someone else can take a look if they want, but I'm pretty sure this is the best one. It's called Triggering Worm, so it's a level 2 dark dragon. If it's sent to the grave, the link summon of a dark monster, you can summon it back, but it can't be used as link material. So end phase. So if we only have Magnum summon during your opponent's end phase, or like on your opponent's turn, banish something. Add Triggering Worm our turn. Noble Triggering Worm, make dark or IP. Bring back Triggering Worm, make gigantic, do full Spright combo. It just like searches a normal summon if we don't have one. So that way we don't have to normal summon a Spright monster. We can just keep them in hand and normal summon something actually useful. Or if we already have a normal summon like Core or something, this can just add any other beast, like it can add Lubellion or something. And then we can just Lubellion effect start with that. But overall, this card is just crazy. And then the other one, Druis Worm. So Saronir, this adds an end phase. Saronir sends from a branded continuous spell or trap from deck to grave. Then Druis Worm, if it's sent to the graveyard, can target a special summon monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. So it gets a ton of value. Like if it's sent to grave, so we banish their card, summon this, then we link it off, and then target a special summon monster, send it to grave. Just 3/1/1, and then 3/1/1. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 10 cards, I was thinking to put in instead of the Infinity package. So this is what I would cut. Where to go? So I would be cutting 2 Ash Blossom and 2 Crow. So those 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There it is. Yep. So these 11, so those 10 and Triggering Worm for instead of these 11. So basically I'm adding 5 hand traps that are also Crow. So maybe I can cut all the Crow, leaving 1 Ash, but like, I feel like, yeah, maybe 1 Ash, but Crow's a little bit more, has a little more utility. It can banish non-lights or darks. So it can banish any card, really. So Crow's like has a little more utility than the Druid Worms, than the Bestials. And then since I'm drawing a lot with this card, and I'd cut this so that it also doesn't conflict with Hyperia. That way, like, we can always Hyperia. Because I really don't need this. This is in here to make the Infinity more consistent. That way I have these 4 these 4 with emergency, or like 10 of these and 9 cores basically. So I just wanted to have this in here to make it more consistent. But if I'm cutting the Infinity package, then I can also cut this, because like the deck is just more consistent overall. I have a ton of engines to see. So I can cut the Infinity, because the Infinity package kind of bricks. I'm cutting like if I don't see core, then all of these are bricks, including like the trap card. Like the trap card is not necessarily a brick, because I can summon core off gigantic from deck to make that live if I have to, or the reborn. So I can do that. But like these are always dead if I don't see core. So those can contribute to like the losing hands. So I put these in instead. These 10 with 1 Triggering Worm to give me a level 2 to search off of Magnum. And I just kind of want to test those out just to see how it would do. See if it's a little bit more consistent than the Infinity. Because like the Infinity package is really strong, but instead of Infinity, I'm basically just like setting up DD Crows with a pop and just really big bodies and like ways to draw cards. So like these let me grind really well. But Infinity is just a straight up hard negate and can take something going second. So maybe that's better. I do want to give this a whirl just to see how it'll be. So the deck list will look like these 10 with Triggering Worm, and then the Spright cards here still, and then just still playing core, just as a good normal summon. So it's 3 core, 3 core, 3 emergency, 1 res system, 1 overflow. Just because it's a light normal summon. Like if I were to play the Nimbles, that's less cards that the Bystials can banish. Because like if my opponent isn't playing a lighter dark deck, then I need to be able to use my own monsters to make use so that 10 cards of my deck aren't dead. So core is a good normal summon to make use of that. I can just like go core, add this, and then I can just use the Reborn first and then banish the core for the Bystials if I need to. So that's the list. That's the list I won with, and a potential list I'm going to be messing with this coming week, just to prepare for the new format. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy your coffees. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.